All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the King and I Life podcast, hosted by Sun Soul X and Soul Touch of Poet. We are talking about two parent versus single parent households in here. Um, Pretty good conversation so far.
Definitely, definitely.
So we're gonna get back into it, and I think we left off talking about the effect of blended families. Um,
I, I think we're talking about the role, the parenting styles. That's what it
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, the roles of parenting styles. Oh
Yes.
man. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Um, you definitely want to be on the same page with the other parent if you have a single parent household, and you definitely want to be. I think you're going to be more on the same page in the two parent household, but when it comes to a single parent household, you definitely want to be on the same page. Because parenting styles can really, really kill a situation. It really can. Um, you might have a parent that's real laid back, chill, but uh, you know, hey, I'm the authority here. Um, then you got some who are laid back and are just hands off, or just nonchalant, which you know we all know in a lot of situations like that, the child looks at that like, oh, I'm in charge, and they carry that all the way, and sometimes they can recover from it, sometimes they can't. Um, and I think that if you have you know two different parenting styles and y'all not together, you know if the child is primarily with one parent and they go have visitation with the other one, that other parent may try to overly compensate for the time that they don't have with that child, and that creates a one type of situation over here, and then when they back with the other parent, you know they feel in a different way, especially when the other parent is married or something like that, and you have that type of blended situation. um so you definitely got to look at that.
I say with my parents, my father always had the approach of he just let you do what you do, and then he would just keep an eye on you.
Hmm.
Meaning, if he saw you going in the wrong direction or hanging out with the wrong crowd, then he would say something to you. So he's kind of like, I'll let you do your thing, run out there. When I see your ass about to go off the cliff, then I'll grab you and bring you back. But my mom, on the other hand, my mom was so damn. I don't know. It's like I always gotta have an eye on you.
Mm.
You can't go too far out of her sight without that being an issue. And I used to think growing up, like, damn, how you and Tyrone, all y'all could just roam goddamn freer than a motherfucking bird. Like, go where the hell y'all wanted to, be all downtown or in this
Oh.
specialty bike shop or whatever. And here I am, Dan is sitting on the goddamn porch, like watching y'all do y'all thing. And then every now and then, my mom would let me, go wherever it was we were going that day.
Right, right.
But I hated that shit. I really hated that because I felt like I missed out on so much
Mm.
as as a young boy growing up because y'all had all the fun. And I'll have to hear about the shit what y'all did. Like, oh man, you should have been there. Or, oh man, this girl this. And I'm like, man, fuck. But I get now that I'm older, why she was like that. It's because she grew up in a household where everyone was there, like everybody knew where everybody was.
Right.
So it was kind of like I thought she was being overprotective, but no, in her mind, she was protecting me from getting into some,
Mm.
situations that I might find difficult to get out of. But
You know, as much freedom as I had, uh, I didn't have that much freedom. I really didn't. Um,
what?
and I say that because it was a lot of times I could go hang out, do whatever, as long as I came back in the house at a decent time. Um, it wasn't always when the street lights came on, but as long as I came in the house at a decent time. And there was times where um, my mother was like, when you get home from school, you get in the house, you lock my door, and you better not open my door for nobody. And it was like, like, chill, like school and back, and that's it. Like, yo, what's going on here? Um, so, and sometimes that depended on my mother's attitude or her mood,
Mhm.
to better put it. If she was in a good mood or whatever, I could do pretty much anything that I wanted. Um,
Right.
Now, granted, if I was out there doing knucklehead stuff and she found out about it, then that kind of limited my movements. That wasn't always the case. I pretty much most of the time got free reign of doing whatever I wanted to do. Um, but I know one thing that used to irritate the hell out of me was when if I was allowed to go spend the night at a friend's house, I had to be home like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and that used to get on my nerves because if my sister went out and spent the night at somebody's house, she could come back whenever. And it's
Oh
like,
wow.
wait a minute. Last I checked, I'm the oldest one. I'm 4 years older than her, and I gotta be home at this time. And she get to come home like it ain't nothing. Not that it was a ridiculous time or anything, but it's like,
Mhm.
like, what is you doing here? Like, are you serious right now? And that kind of pissed me off, and it made me, resentful towards my mother because it was like half the time I didn't understand why she was acting like that. Um, and then I can also say, during my high school years, um, I can't even describe what her parenting style was because she would flip flop so much. It was like sometimes she would get in her moods and go turn my room upside down. I come in the house and like my room was clean when I left. Chair flipped over, clothes all over the place, and this is knocked over, and this, that, and other. Like, and sometimes like I ain't cleaning this shit up. Like I didn't do it. Like my room was good when I left. Like I come
Right.
back and it looks crazy. Oh, you better clean that. And I'm like, yo, like yo, it's crazy. So
Wow. Yeah, I definitely can relate to that damn street light, man. That was her thing. Your ass better be in this house by the damn time them street lights come on.
mm,
Oh man, that really hindered me as a teenager, man. I think the latest I was able to stay out, for real, maybe like 10:30.
mm,
And then when I was on up in like the 11th and 12th grade, I still had to be home like 12:30, some shit like that. I'm
man,
like, that's when it gets popping. You know what I'm saying? That's when everything jump off.
yeah, that's it
So
right there.
needless to say, there were times when I just had to sneak out. I'm like, fuck that shit. Yeah, I'm going to bed. Shit. Jump off the goddamn roof. Game over.
I used to hate. I mean, used to literally hate. Like, so I stayed in the first building on the street,
Hmm.
and where the church was and the DYA was. That's like halfway down the street, and my mother used to stand on the corner of our building and yell my name. Man, let me tell you.
Wow.
Everybody used to look, yo, that's your mom. You better go home. And it's like, damn. I would let her call my name like 3, 4 times. Cause it was like embarrassing. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
probably with
man.
like 10, 15 people because we down there hanging out. And
Yep.
it's like, yo, yo, I'm like in 11th, 12th grade when she would do this. But hey, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have pages, we didn't have none of that. So it was like,
Mm-mm.
and it was them times where she'd be in a bad mood. Like I'm good to go outside, do me, whatever the case may be, and she got an attitude now. She yelling down the damn street, and I'm like, oh, what the like, oh man, I
Yeah.
got to go down here, and I'm getting joked on and shit. Like, yeah,
Oh man, I cannot tell you how many times my friends would give me pure hell. You know your ass better be home by the damn street lights.
these days ain't
What you
over.
doing out here, man? Oh man, you better go and take your ass home. You know you about to get it, boy. Oh man, but once she went out of town or had to disappear for a couple of days,
Mm,
I love that shit. I really love that shit. Cause my dad was like, as long as your ass don't get in trouble, I don't give a damn what you do, but your ass better make sure you come back here at a decent hour. So
you're right.
I always respected that about him.
Yeah, yeah. I used to have that. Hey, as long as you don't get in trouble, you good.
Hmm.
Trouble, it's on. It is on. Mm. But parenting styles matter. Um, and it definitely matters because you at the end of the day as a parent, you're teaching your child how to be a parent, and
Hmm.
you do a piss poor job. Isn't a lot of times it's not going to work out well for that child when they grow up.
Yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I got my ass tore up, and my mom's explanation was cause I said so. I'm like,
Oh my
the
man, it's the worst.
how in the hell am I supposed to learn because you say so? What the hell is that teaching me?
Right, because I said so. Like what? Don't question me. I'm trying
Yeah.
to understand you.
Oh man.
What do you want from me right now,
Yep. I
man?
used to hear that so much. I'm like, oh man, here we go again. This bullshit.
I know there's one thing that I definitely made a conscious effort not to do, not sit there and say because I said so. Like, nah,
Yeah.
you're not teaching your child anything when you say because I said so.
No, he ain't teaching them
At the
shit.
end of the day, you're creating a monster right there because I said so. Like the we you and you know damn well we cursing you out under our breath.
Heck yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I had a very outward conversation in my head. I wasn't gonna let it come out my mouth
Right.
because that's like she goes in termination or Terminator damn form then and shit.
Right.
Be trying to goddamn kill you and shit. But yeah, I never understood that about. I will say for my dad though, he never treated me like that because I said so. Like no, because it's too late,
Right.
or you can't do that because I got something else for you to do. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But my mom, nope, because I said so. I'm like, man, that shit is so lame.
Yeah. And to throw another funny thing on there, one of the things that I know we all hated as a child was, our parents is, let's say they're in the living room, or let's just say they're in the
Oh, I already know what you about to say.
room is, in an ideal location. They call us from outside, from in our room, taking a nap. Yes, go in the kitchen and go get me a cup of water. It's like you was right there. Like, why I
Oh
gotta go? You was right there.
man,
You talking
oh
back?
that used to burn me up.
You sitting there like you literally made me come from way back there to come all the way up here to get you X, Y, and Z. I'm kind of thinking this feel like slavery.
Yeah, those were my thoughts exactly. I remember many a times my mom would call my ass from way upstairs. My
Mm,
room was the room in the furthest back.
man,
Call me from way up goddamn stairs just to hand her a goddamn remote. When the only thing she had to do was just lean up, reach out, and she could have got the motherfucker.
mm,
I'm like, man, what the hell? And then go get me a cup of water,
right,
a glass of water. Make sure you put some ice in it.
and
Or
yeah,
play that record again. Like, you right here.
right there. And it's like they calling you like it's an emergency.
Yes. Like somebody has just died or something. Or like it's
Yeah,
in
like
it. I need you right now. And you like,
Urgent, like hurry
what,
up.
what's going on?
What's taking you so long? Like is the house burning down? Like what's going on?
Yeah, go on and give me a glass of water.
You so hot. Like man,
Oh man, you know you be cursing up underneath your breath. What? What'd you say?
wait,
Nothing.
man, you don't know. Mm,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. So the
uh,
effects of a blended family, I would say, from just watching my friends who had either a different mother or father. Um, I remember I had this one friend named John, a little white boy, and man, he would give his stepmom, pure hell. I mean, like
yeah.
this kid would go out of his way to goddamn make shit hard on her, like
Mm.
pouring bleach in the goddamn color clothes while she trying to
Oh
wash. Like,
hell no!
yes, this boy went in hard.
Get out of here.
But I think as time went on, he adjusted to her, and they were able to have a regular relationship at that time. But I remember when she first came aboard,
Mm.
John gave her my hell, boy. I was like, wow. And his dad was so cool though. His dad be like trying to talk to him. I think it was very rarely that he ever got, a whooping, as they say.
Shoot.
But
You lucky.
yeah, yeah.
Lucky. Cause yeah. In our households, depending on the situation, you pull something like that, you likely to get slammed somewhere. Like literally slammed somewhere. But when it comes to blended families, you definitely have to take that child into consideration, and that child also has to respect the situation. But it all boils down to communication. If you can, both parents have to talk to that child and say, "Hey, this is what it is. It's all right. It's not your it's not your fault that we're not together. Um, uh, you need to be respectful. This, that, and the other." And that child has to be taught, and that child has to respect the situation. But it helps when all parents, all adults involved are on the same page. Because like I said, my youngest son, you know, he it's a blended family, but being that me and his mother get along, and me and his stepfather gets along, we never really had that issue to where my youngest son was like, I'm about to raise hell over here. So I'm fortunate when it comes to that.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. I can't say any of my friends right now that are married. They either divorced and they stay far away from their ex,
Mm-hmm.
or they are still married. The ones that did get married.
Mm.
Um, but I do find that some of my friends that are single though, with those type of situations, um, I think they do the best they can as far as like making sure they keep their appointments with their kids.
Mm.
As far as like saying, "Hey, I'm coming to get you so and so and so and so," and always making sure they actually keep their word.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of their kids now are grown. I think like only one or two of them still have kids at home. I was just a late bloomer in that situation, but uh, blended families they definitely work in there. They're beneficial as far as I see.
Yeah. And a non-custodial parent, they have to respect the boundaries of the situation. Not only for the child, but just the respect for that other person moving on, or whatever the case may be. You can't assert your dominance as if you are still a part of the picture. You're starting still a part of the equation, but you're not a part of that picture as it is. You're the
Right.
outsider in that, and you know, as long as you respect the boundaries of that other person moving on, or if you move on and and you are in a situation, let that other person be. Like, don't move on and think that you can slide back in and have your cake and eat it too, or assert your position as if you still there. It's like, nah, it is what it is. You got that over there. Our child come over there and kick it with y'all for however long we decide, or whatever the case may be, and that be it.
Hmm.
As long as those things are in place, it definitely could work. There's no reason why it shouldn't work.
Right. So jealousy of the non-custodial parent, what kind of role does that play in a child's life, you think?
Creates better children. That's that's all it does. It gives children that um, it creates disrespectful children. It creates children where they're mimicking the the jealous parent's behavior, or they're mimicking the parent the reaction of the other parent. Um, you can't kick that kind of jealousy and expect that child not to see that and understand it and overhear certain things like that. It definitely has to, you definitely have to be aware of what you're doing and what you're saying and how it affects that child, because at the end of the day, it's going to affect you and it's going to affect that child. Who's going to be worse affected? More than likely, it's a child.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, as far as my friends who have, moved on from a previously relationship that they have kids, um, I can't say I've seen any of my homegirls go through situations like that, but my homeboys, um, they have had females that come back, out of jealousy, put child support on him. You know what I'm saying? Even when he's already, doing the best he can as a father to be responsible, financially for his child.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, then I've seen some females just come back and try to destroy a current relationship uh, simply because she wants him back, or she don't want to see him happy. Either way, she has to come in and create that tornado to
Right.
try to wipe out what he has going on. But
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely say jealousy does play a role in some situations where um, just with my friends, the females have come back trying to strike vengeance, even though you were the one who destroyed the relationship. At least from my perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. And about the incoming parent, I mean incoming person, um, to that equation, are they equipped to handle it? You know, you have to look at the 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 spine in that person that you're bringing into that situation.
Mm-hmm.
We already we already have the understanding that the two parents um, have to respect each other, and the dissolution of that relationship. They also have to instill that in that child. Now, that man or woman that's coming into the situation, um, they have to be mentally and emotionally capable of handling that relationship or that dynamic, because and I've had this experience before. When I got married to my last wife, she was a very jealous woman. She didn't like the fact that I got along with my oldest son's mother. She didn't like the fact that I got along with my youngest son's mother. she didn't like the fact that I had a stepdaughter. She felt that because of the relationship that me and my biological children's mothers had, she felt that we was always having sex with each other. Um, and then she felt that with my stepdaughter that I cared more for her than her children. It was like it's not a thing. It's not even a competition of me caring for this child more than your children. But at the end of the day, my stepdaughter was in my life before your children, so she automatically is up here. That doesn't diminish my care and affection for your children because we're married, I look at them as my children. I'm not going to treat them any less, but I'm not going to treat them any more than my children or my stepchild that I had before you came in the situation. Um,
Right.
and if that person can't handle that, then you know I know I should have in that situation. I should have got rid of her when I started seeing that. But I held on for all right, maybe she'll change, maybe she'll stop tripping, but she never stopped tripping and that became a problem. It became a problem because when it came to going to pick my youngest son up, she would never want to meet his mother, or when she came to drop him off, she wouldn't want her coming in the house. I'm like, what the hell kind of nonsense is that? And I'm great.
Wow.
I'm grateful that me and my youngest son's mother had the relationship that we have because I was able to talk to her and be like, she she bugging, and
Right.
she would laugh it off. It was a hee hee ha ha thing with me and her because we have that bond like that. So I
Hmm.
greatly appreciate that we have that relationship still to this day. Um, but yeah, it was stressful because it was like, yo, she just dropped my child off. Um, that's it. Um, and even when her and her husband got stationed down in Key West, and we drove all the way down to Key West to pick my son up.
Uh,
We drove all the way down to Key West to pick my son up mainly because she didn't trust me flying down there to get my son. And
wow.
and the craziest thing about that is when we get down there to pick him up, um, she still didn't want to meet her. And I'm going in the store to get my son from his mother. She sends her child with me and she goes and hides in another damn store. And I'm
Kind of
like,
okay.
like, yo, why am I dealing with this? Like, really, why am I dealing with this? Like,
Yeah,
it
that's
was,
extra stress there.
yeah, extra stress. And then, the last thing I want to say about that is my youngest son at that time, he was like, I want to say 5, 6, 7 years old. Now, he is used to a specific parenting style where his mother is very engaging, very hands on. So that's what he's used to. Now, I'm at work. Um, my youngest son is home with her. He would go back home to his mother and say, well, she ain't paying attention to me all day. And that bothered me because it's like my child is used to X, Y, and Z. He's
Right.
going to his mother saying this, that, and the other. His mother's saying to me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to my wife at the time saying, yo, my son said this, that, and the other. And now we arguing because she's mad that my son told his mother that he's not getting what he's used to.
Right.
If you can't handle that, then you don't need to be there. And at the same time, it is responsible. It is the responsibility of all parties involved to make that clear. And hindsight, I should have been like, look, if you can't do this, then we can't be together.
No, it's definitely an area of concern with any mate that you have. Um, as far as like actually being a participant in your child's life. So I definitely get that. So the next one is respecting each other's boundaries. Um, I know you put that one in, so you care to elaborate on that one a little bit more?
I mean, I kind of already touched on that.
All right.
As far as you got to respect each other's boundaries. If I'm doing something over here, you do something over there. Stay in your business. Stay in, and I stay in my business. If it's not about the child, then it's really nothing that we need to. You know, it's not. It shouldn't even be an issue at all.
Right. So can co-parenting work? What are your thoughts on that?
It can work. I've experienced it working. Again, with especially with my youngest son. My oldest son probably didn't benefit from co-parenting because we were young and we didn't know any better and this, that, and the other. But as far as my youngest son, it definitely worked. Um, you know, he has access to both of us. When he needs something, trust me, when he needs something, he has no problem hitting me up. We talk, we say what's up, what's this, what's that, and sometimes if my son feels like he can't or is not comfortable saying something to me, she'll tell me. And then I'll address it with him. I won't say, well, your mother said this and your mother said that. I'll ask him questions, according to what she said to me. And, it goes both ways. If I'm with him and me and him having a conversation, hey, mom, I call her mom, she calls me dad. And, we have that type of rapport to where that's how we talk to each other, and that's how we deal with things pertaining to our child. So it definitely works. Hell, I even told her, hey, if your youngest want to come because he wants to be with his brother, send him on. I mean, to me, that's what co-parenting is. It's like, we have our child, and if you have a child with whoever you with, and I have a child over here with somebody else, it's good for those children to see that dynamic, because they can say, hey, I got a mom, I got a dad, I have a sister who has a mom and she treats me this way, and or my sister got a dad and he treat it that whole co-parenting dynamic can be so beautiful and so beneficial to those children that you create superstars in that type of situation. You create very empathetic human beings. You create responsible human beings. You create people who have the mental and emotional capacity to understand and be able to deal with a lot of things.
I could definitely see, as far as like, again, knock on wood, if me and my wife were ever to go that route, um, that whole co-parenting, we would definitely make that work. I wouldn't care to live in any other city other than the one that my child is in, or any other country, if it came to that. Um, and again, that's just part of you know being responsible. I feel, again, I feel like, because I do have this child, I asked this child to come here. This child didn't ask me to come here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I asked you to come here. You came. You here. So I'm gonna do everything within my power to, make sure you're taken care of until you can take care of yourself. But a lot of my friends, with the co-parenting situation, a lot of their kids, are doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know one friend in particular. I won't mention his name, but he went through freaking hell with his ex old lady just to see his three sons. But all three of his sons are doing well. He did the absolute best he could, even at times damn near about to go to jail, just trying to spend time with his kids. Um, but given that situation and seeing him, go through that stress of just trying to be a father to his kids, uh, I many of times told him, man, I take my hat off to you, because I know the struggles that you had to go through to just spend time with these young men. and to watch them now, and they're all, doing, well in life. Uh, Again, any parent who's willing to go through a situation like that, meaning those struggles of the other person not being a willful or a good co-parent with you. I definitely take my hat off to anyone who's willing to go through that. So helping children understand that it's not their fault. Um, I definitely have a lot of thoughts on that, but we're going to come back to that after this break. But again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the King and I Life podcast. And when we come back, we will wrap this segment up. And you guys have a good evening.